Greetings, my viewers, and today we're going to be talking about the comparison between Case Closed Season 1 Episode 1 and Case Closed Episode 1 Special. Ooh, let's begin. Uh-oh, I clicked back in space, so be aware of these choppy moments. So the difference between these two, aside from this one being the 2016 anniversary, making it its 20th year anniversary for Case Closed Episode 1 Special, the Season 1 episode is about 24 minutes, while this one is about, 94 minutes. And this one covers a lot more different characters, as the beginning of the true Episode 1 starts at like minute 30 of this special. So, to kind of cover the characters that are not yet introduced / invented in Season 1, I'm going to be comparing the other people in The Last Wizard of the Century. The spoilage, other characters that are like secondary, are kind of not much really different from each other. They're kind of like I can take either or and I would be fine. But when I get to the main comparison, that's where we're going to see more details later on. The main reason I chose Last Wizard of the Century, which was pure luck, it had Kaito Kid in it. And with Kaito Kid in it, I got the bonus of all the other characters that were in this one. So, hooray! Now then, let's move on to packaging. Which I have to say for Season 1, the Viridian Collection, pretty much with its front, spine, back, and open up jack to pretty much one of these stack fills. Yeah, take this, I'm not going to cover if I have this or not. Pretty much it's just laid out kind of like a different sort of newspaper, if you will. Heidi-ho, Tim. So this one I'm okay with because it was in the past, and this feels more centered on the show with the style that they wanted to advertise it with back then. To bring the shocking new murders and thrills of Case Closed or Detective Conan. While this one, released by Discotek, the noticeable thing is right here at the top where it's distinctly spelled out Detective Conan. What baffles me with this design choice is it kind of reminds me of some spicier entertainment ads like Hot Stuff. Well, going to a nudie bar with its neon lights. Very Voogie's Angel or Hooters inspired design. So as we look at the menu for Case Closed, what baffles me is with this menu you see it like a different design. It seems more inviting, and I'm kind of baffled why they didn't insist on using this menu title for Detective Conan, but I hope if Discotek's listening, use this, not this. So back from that minor detail, if we see side comparison of the front spines and backs, there's not much difference. So as we open it up, we see the same cover as the Blu-ray cover, and also after we pop this out, we see a not much artwork here, just Conan in his original 17-year-old form, but that's about it. They could have included some more or something here, or seems kind of lackluster for what they usually would go for. So the story between these two for Episode 1 involves a murder mystery at the rich man's mansion and a murder mystery at the amusement park that they go to, which ends when the guys in black giving Conan the drug. For the Episode 1 special, the 30 minutes prior before it covers the true Episode 1, this introduces the scientist who developed the drug for the Men in Black, as she goes over in her mind if this is ethical or not for her to invent this drug in the first place. As well as we discover more of Rachel Moore or Ray's friends, including the rich girl, her karate rival, the karate rival's boyfriend, as we get to know who Jimmy Kudo is as a character and how people treat him, and his fame of being a boy detective on his side of the continent. How is this just the same Episode 1 when we reach the 30-minute mark? And I would have to say that it is similar, but not the same. As Episode 1 begins with the rich man's murder, it's bam, it's that guy because he was at that meeting at that time. Throw something and he's discovered to be fraud with his injury. Whereas Special 1, we get to see Jimmy, Ray or Rachel, and Richard Moore go in and see the meeting that happened prior to the murder. And we get to see more of what happened instead of it was that person for him doing that there. We get to see what there is or was. And when the reveal comes, instead of it being screen by screen, it does it a little differently. Things are placed and rearranged much more open. That way, for Jimmy to now reveal the man as a fraud, he uses a soccer ball to kick at him and he jumps away, which exposes him. So these are similar but not the same. It's not going to be we're studying this like a chapter book for a test. Instead, it wants to play out the story much more naturally, if you will. Instead of, I just expect him to just know this stuff, even though we don't see it. This time around, the audience gets to see what was explained. So, much more lively to me. The amusement park, it's almost the same. In the special, it focuses a little bit more on the men in black, the guys in black. We get to see them prowl more around the park. However, we do see Jimmy and friends play more at the park. It's more of a montage, fine, but it's not like wham, bam, yell, then we hit murder. We get to see them actually enjoy an amusement park, be amused for once, if you will. Then after this ends, the episode 1 ends, he turns into a kid, which here it was like 2 minutes and he meets up with the professor. Here he's trying to think how to get out of his situation while not realizing he really has changed form into a kid. So we see him running from the cops, have more technically action scenes in this one. Then after that, when he meets with the professor and then taken under Richard Moore's care, kind of stops the episode 1 here, but still continues with future mysteries that come about. It's kind of like a brief clip show as to what's to come next, as we see different spotlights of the show happen in its 20-year anniversary, just to say, yeah, we did it. However, this thing, the one thing I can't stand between this one and this is it did not give a preview to the next murder to help you solve it. Story 4, The Last Wizard of the Century. I'm not going to go over much right here, but this was a very thrilling, action-packed sort of mystery, but it's better to describe this more as National Treasure or Indiana Jones. The infamous thief Kaito Kid, as Conan and friends make sure that they don't take the family heirlooms of this one family and discover more of the history of this one family. I forgot the family. Really fun. Brief spoiler, Kaito Kid kind of shows up briefly at the end and at the beginning with 1 or 2 times helping Conan and friends, but who he is, what he is, I will not spoil. Ha ha ha. But if you get a chance, check this out. It's definitely not a slow watch, and it is not them stuck in a skyscraper with a bomb. And let's continue with the rest of what we're really trying to compare here until we get to the dub. Ooh. Pace. To me, pace is important if you're going to review or look at something, because if it's something that's slow while it's supposed to be fast-paced with action, that kind of drools. Or something that's supposed to be slow so you can catch all the details of that mystery and it goes by too fast, well, that's just going to confuse you. So, to me, pace is very important. Which for these, when it comes time to who does what and when, for either of these, it does a fine job. The pace is not slow or drooling. Unless you've seen episode 1 and want to know when your episode 1 happens, which, once again, 30 minutes into it. I feel like these don't have any pace issues. With this expanding and articulating more where the original had, I feel like this has more an advantage. But if you just don't want to feel the need to watch something that's 90 minutes and you're going to watch the rest of the series while not getting a good introduction, the 24 one's probably up your alley, since you're gonna watch more episodes than One Piece at this point. Meaning like 900 plus, I believe, if I'm dating this video. So for pace, you will not lose any details for the mystery, and the action happens in a fluid pace that you're not going to feel like it's going to be like it's too slow for what's being delivered. So overall, this is not going to be a terribly fast show, but it's not going to be one that slows down. So the pace will be good for what content is represented. Sorry for all the clip animation. This one outdoes this one, even though this was 96 with its particular art style, while this is a 20th anniversary special. So sadly, this one wins. The music for both of these, honestly, hand in hand, they're about the same, except one crucial one, and that's the opening for these. And I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen the Japanese opening before until I watched this one, and oh my god, this is a rare case where the music vocalist, or the person who sung the song, is flat out tone deaf. Please insert the English songs as much as possible, Discotek, because oh my god, it's not a good, it's a decently written song, but oh my god, the Japanese performance is yeah, please get the English song opening back onto this one. Oh my god. Alright, the dubs. First, like I said before, with Ron's friends, not Ray, I apologize, should have got that correct. Ron / Rachel's friends. We have, like I said, rich friend, karate rival, her interest. They are kind of hand in hand between both dubs. So it's going to be down to the main three: Conan, Ron / Rachel, and Gogoro / Richard Moore. So zoom into Conan. So with Conan, we have on Funimation's side Alison Ritzloff, and on Discotek's side we have Amy Wynn Lee. And between the two, Ritzloff sounds more like a smaller child, as Amy Wynn Lee, I'm sorry to say this, but she sounds like she put the child in a more higher age range than what Ritzloff would perform. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm preferring the other than Wynn Lee for this instance. So sorry, Wynn Lee, you have done a lot of great roles, just not this time. You were outmatched. Alright, up next is Rachel Moore, or Ron Mori. For this one, on the Funimation side, we have Colleen Klinkenbeard, and on the Discotek side, we have Christina V. This should be, well, the kind of obvious who would win here, but here is some rationale. For Klinkenbeard, she makes the 16-year-old girl sound like she's 18 years old, while Christina V makes her sound 14. And out of the two, I will have to go with Christina V, because she sounds more youthful, as the role should be. Even though technically she would be more around Klinkenbeard's performance, I feel like the more youthful tone will make her seem like she's more in school age than being confused for an adult, even though she's at that adult age, if you will. Next, Mr. Moore. Lastly of this trio is Richard Moore, aka Toguro Mori, the father of Ron Mori, or Rachel Moore. Sadly, just one name closer to being the actor for James Bond, but that is another era entirely. So between these two, we have on the Discotek side Xander Mobus, and on the Funimation side we have Robert Bruce Elliott. The difference between the two: Robert here, for Robert, has 3 different voices while performing this character. We have Crazy Loud Man, Cranky Old Man, and Inspector Gadget. The Inspector Gadget will come not when Jimmy's voicing him, but this will come when the actual character comes up with a decent deduction. It's just a little, this might be an accidental slip up, but I laugh every time I hear this sort of Inspector Gadget just sneaking in. Technically, these 3 different voices should be for 3 different characters depending on your ADR direction, but here with the different inflections and how it like turns, because you don't sound the same when you have a different type of emotion. Like if you're angry, you're like, I hate this person, or if you're happy, like tweedledee la-ta-doo, you know. But that's what's happening here in the Funimation side. Xander Mobus sounds exactly like Jason Douglas's role as Michael Haragata from Watanabe Style. I mean, exactly. If I put the two together, I could not see the difference between the two. So it kind of sounds like you got motivation to take Michael Douglas's voice here and replicate it for the role, which makes him sound more like a very sleazy-like person, which he is a sleazy person, but it's more like a Muppet at this point. You know, one character is going to be this way, but it's always this way, while it's just one tone. Over here on the Funimation side, I get like this articulate character. So, needless to say, how I was talking, I'm going with Richard voicing Richard here. So with that, it kind of sounds like I'm leaning towards the old dub rather than the new. I'm glad for the new dub because that means newer episodes will come out. Maybe this will hit the new ADR director. I don't know. But those are my opinion. Dubbing, it goes towards the older release. For everything else, it kind of leans towards the newer except for the music. So, if you want to introduce your friends to more Conan, go with the episode 1 special. It'll introduce more characters. You see Ron's mom in this or Togoro's wife in this one as well. But bottom line, this is Case Closed / Detective Conan. It's the same thing, just named twice. Twice in a different way, obviously. Detective Conan is the original, so the newer releases will try to be more true to the original, while the Funimation or any time period before when Discotek got it, you have the Americanized names that even exist in the Viz manga as well. So there you go. To me, this is just more Scooby-Doo episodes. I can take it either way. One complaint I always have with this series is I wish that there was a special that pinned Conan as the person who's responsible for the murders, because he seems to deduce and come up with stuff fairly quickly to solve the murder for most cases. Other cases, when it takes its time to draw out the drama and try to picture who did what, to me those are the better episodes. While others, it's like they encounter something, they walk around the corner, and it's solved. Either way, you can only write so many mysteries as one way or the other. But yeah, check them out. This is a great introduction to what's going to happen to the revival of this series in America. And with that, I would like to say, once again, like, subscribe, ring that bell, join my Twitter and Facebook detail to know me well. Laters!